In this series, we're helping you use simple tools to restore and explore your natural foot function. And in our previous video, we took you shopping to show you all of the different products and items to look for. A lot of them you probably have hanging around home anyway. And in this video today, we're going to take you through the towel and dowel combo and show you our favorite ways to set them up and to use them to get as much as possible out of your foot function and your balance. All right, so first up, we're going to go into some sole exploration. And to set up, you'll just have the towel folded up and then you roll the dowel into the towel, like so. So that towel gives you a nice layer of cushioning, which will definitely be needed at first if you're new to this. And all we're doing is exploring the sole of our foot by adding gradually more and more body weight onto the foot, starting with, you can start with most of your body weight back and then just gradually adding more and more, and that might be in session or over time you'll add more and more to the point that you should eventually get to loading your whole body weight on your foot and being able to tolerate the pressure that comes with that. Now, depending on your towel, you might find that you can only tolerate a little bit of pressure at first. That's completely fine. And you really do want to be exploring all the different spots that you can, like so. And actually, a great thing to do, especially with these thinner dowels, is try to align the pressure right in between each of those lines of your metatarsals. And that can be a really great way to mobilize those joints, especially in between the first and the second. If you've got any kind of bunion or hallux valgus developing, then splaying out those and getting some mobilization through the muscles is a really, really great thing to do. You could even be set up in that position and adding in a little bit of heel lift for some extension as well. Being really nice and slow and gentle with that at first, and eventually you can build up more and more range of motion while you are mobilizing and massaging in that spot. Expect some tenderness there, but that will get better over time, and over time you can reduce the cushioning just by unfolding the towel. Wouldn't have to be that much, you could just do a little unfold. Eventually you could get further and further down, like that. And over time, build up to being able to tolerate the pressure of the dowel. And if you think about being barefoot in nature, which is really our natural foot function, then we really should be able to tolerate these deep pressures that would come from roots or rocks or logs. And so this is really just supplementing and simulating those pressures that we should get. And it's a really great way to get the muscles nice and supple and the joints more mobile and adaptable, and just increase the overall toughness and resilience of our feet. So next up, we'll be using the towel to help facilitate some big toe mobilizations. And the movement of our big toe is really, really important for our walking mechanics. We have to have at least 60 to 65 degrees of that big toe extension as we walk for efficient gait mechanics, as it's called. And you can use the towel to have this nice cushioned surface and preset your toe into a little bit of extension there. And from there, you could be stepping forward with one side and just getting into that little bit of a stretch, like so. You can obviously also use this to help stretch the other toes. And another thing you can do is get both feet on at once. So the ball of your foot is obviously at the base there, and then you can just hover your heels off the ground If you need a wall next to you for this, that might be helpful. Or if your dowel isn't cut in half, you could use your dowel as balance, like so. And you can even get some calf raises going over time where you're really pushing that range of motion. Again, using a wall for balance is a great idea, especially at first. And if you wanted to double that up with a bit of extra foot toughening and to have, more of a stable base, then you just slot the dowel in there and do the same kind of thing. And over time, you could increase the height that you go to, or that preset, and do the exact same movements, but you just end up with more toe extension. So then we're going to do some balance training with the towel, and this does a really good job of challenging our balance because it becomes somewhat of an unstable surface, or like a wobble board in a sense. So just folding at first is a great place to start because that's relatively flat, but you've got that little bit of instability from the cushioning of the towel. And so there's different ways that you can progress to this. If you're not quite confident on a single leg, you can just put the other leg down and gradually narrow that over time. And from here, you can just be either maintaining your balance with your eyes forward. You could be using a wall as well. Let's say if you did want to go to a single leg, but you weren't quite there with the balance, you could use a wall next to you. And then from there, you could progress through some really simple balance challenges by just moving your eyes around. You could be looking at different spots or potentially trying to follow something with your eyes. You could be moving around your head, which would add extra challenge. Or you could also close your eyes for even more challenge, or even close your eyes and look around. So wherever you are at with your balance, there'll be something there that you can do and something that will be very challenging, and you just explore that over time. And you'll notice that the cushioning of the towel gives you a bit of extra wobbles compared to flat ground. It's obviously also great to do all of those on flat ground. But if you wanted to increase the challenge, you could roll the towel up. That now makes it even more narrow and even more of these kind of wobbles going on, like so. Exact same progressions and more challenge again. You could roll that dowel into it. Which provides even more of those wobbles because your foot is now moving around that cylindrical dowel, and you're getting a little bit of that pressure input that we were getting before with the sole exploration. So a few different variations to try there, but great combo, and just pick one that feels like the right amount of challenge, not too easy, not too hard, and progress over time. And a different setup that you can do for balance as well, just as a bonus, is with or without the dowel. You can place your forefoot, similar to what we were doing before for the big toe extension, but this time it's just fully focused on balance and loading the forefoot, and that's where you're just hovering the heels off the ground. Gets very challenging in that position. So you'll definitely want to try this without the dowel first, and then over time you can build up to that dowel, which again will give you a bit of that pressure input through the forefoot. And over time you could try and reduce the cushioning. Again, you still get the balance challenge, but you get even more pressure. Okay, and last up, we're gonna do a simple calf stretch using this combo. You could do this without the dowel as well. You might find that you just need a bit of extra height or maybe an extra towel. But from here, you're just keeping the forefoot on top, keep the stance knee straight, and then step forward with the other side. And then from here, if you want more stretch, you could step further and further forward or inch further forward, or you could rotate your body in different directions, like so. Again, the dowel in there will be giving some forefoot pressure, so if you're not comfortable with that, you can just take that straight out, try and get a bit of a tighter roll, and then do the same thing. So depending on your flexibility, like I said, you might need a bit of extra height, or you might find that this is perfect for you, aiming for a sort of 3 to 5 out of 10 intensity with your stretch. You're not trying to do anything that is like making you tense up and hold your breath or grimace or anything like that. Just a nice gentle stretch that you can hold and breathe through for 30 to 60 seconds. And obviously, you're going to be doing both sides. So plenty to keep you busy there. Make sure you go back and watch our previous videos with the different simple tool combinations if you haven't already, to get even more ideas. And we'll be using these simple tools in future videos to help improve certain qualities of foot function and common conditions that we often get asked about. So stay tuned for those. Like and subscribe if you're getting value out of these videos, and check out the links in the description below if you're after some more structured guidance.